In today's video, we're going to be doing 7 creative gimbal shot ideas paired with some very interesting transitions for you guys to check out. We are going to shoot the whole thing and then towards the end of the video show you how these 7 shots can all work well together to make a final edit. We are going to be using the ultimate mobile filmmaking gimbal from Zhiyun Tech, and is the new Smooth 5 paired with my iPhone 13 Pro. This gimbal is by far like my favorite mobile filmmaking gimbal, and if you guys want to find out anything more about it, it's going to be linked in the top of the description. With that being said, let's get into shooting some of our first shots. For our first shot, we were just doing like a dolly shot up of the van driving down the road, a nice establishing shot setting the scene, and then I set the gimbal over into POV mode so that I could dip it down into the road and keep that angle and actually like change the angle of the phone and gimbal and then black it out to the surface of the road. For shot 2, I wanted to get a more close-up shot of Hannah actually driving the bus. So to transition from our previous shot, I started off my phone completely blacked out with the surface of the road, and then using the same direction as our last one, I panned up to Hannah actually driving that car, doing my best to run next to it and keep up with her, and then I did a swipe through the side pillar of the car, transitioning into our next shot. For shot 3, we had changed location to the beach and we parked the vehicle here. I swapped sides around to the passenger side of the car and swiped in from right to left, the same as our previous swipe of the pillar, but now we're in the opposite window. We can see Hannah stop there and getting out of the car, and then I dipped that angle down to the bottom of the door, making our entire shot go like a yellow color of the van, so that we could transition it into our next shot, which is going to be Hannah on the beach. For shot 4 now, we're down on the beach and Hannah had this really nice yellow towel. So as she started running away, she just kind of threw that yellow towel in front of the lens so that it would fall down and dip down the same as our last shot when we dipped behind the door of the car. And then that transitions perfectly in to show Hannah now being out of the car and running down the beach, and then did a swipe to the right, just kind of like a whip effect to whip into our next shot. For shot 5, we swapped the iPhone into a much higher frame rate so we could capture a really slow motion shot of Hannah's feet moving the water around, and we started off by whipping in to go from our previous shot, and then we can use a speed ramp and really slow that footage down of Hannah's foot actually moving, all of that water splashing up with the nice golden light in the background, and then dipping back down into just a full frame of like that water glimmering, and then that is going to be our next starting point for our 6th shot. For our 6th shot, we went for a wider shot of Hannah actually standing out in the water, starting off our frame from being completely filled with that water shot to match with our previous shot, and then we kind of just went up to show Hannah being there and just showing the viewer a really nice idea of the larger scale of our location. And then once we had showed Hannah being on that rock, we just blocked out the frame with the yellow rock that was just to the right of Hannah so we could transition into our 7th and final shot. Our 7th and final shot, I stood on the back of the bus on the motorbike rack so that I could get behind that yellow part of the car right on the back, and then just slid out from left to right, matching the movement of our previous shot to show Hannah's hand kind of just flowing in the wind there, to get a nice feeling of the ending of our video of Hannah leaving now. She's on her way back away from the beach, and then dipping that shot down to the surface of the road as a nice ending where we can fade out to black. Those are the 7 shots that we are going to need for our video. Let's have a look at how they all work together to make an entire cinematic sequence. So roll it. was it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was really fun shooting it, and a pleasure to be shooting on the Zhiyun Smooth 5. Being able to use Filmic Pro in here and have access to things like the wheel to zoom or rack focus and the record buttons all over the gimbal make it really helpful and a pleasure to actually shoot on. If you guys want to find out more, it's going to be linked in the top of the description. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.